Welcome back. In a competitive world of telecommunications and internet network service, technological advancement appears to be very dynamic. Fiber optic network has proven to be a more reliable platform. One company popular for such services is Broad-Based Communications Limited. Because the provision of fiber optic network requires laying of cables, Broad-Based Communications has taken the act of laying cables to a new level as they think more of the environment and effectiveness. The company has launched horizontal directional drilling equipment in Lagos. The heavy investment, the company says, is to help lay cables on the ground mechanically without digging up the streets.
State-of-the-art and intimidating in size, but highly effective. These brand new horizontal directional drilling equipment acquired by Broad-Based Communications Limited looks set to change the face of the Nigerian fiber telecom industry. Broad-Based Communications is a company known for its record of firsts in the industry and has invited top bank and financial executives, telecom operators and even foreign partners to see how the company is working to introduce a more advanced way of laying cables. And so Broad-Based takes his friends and partners on the tour and demonstration of how the HDD equipment works, which enables them lay fiber optic cables below roads, canals, rivers. They say they can go as far as 22 feet below canals and about 90 feet beyond river crossings.
What this will do is keep those cables away from harm's way. Lagos is a place that is fully loaded with waterways, and so there are situations where we need to go underneath the waterway to take the cable to the other side of the street.
We're expanding our points of presence all over Lagos, so as we extend these points of presence in different parts of Lagos, then it becomes easier for residents and businesses to obtain fiber optic cable easily.
Beyond the drilling equipment, Broad-Based has also invested in scanning devices to electronically scan for cables and pipes buried underground on the streets before drilling and laying of the fiber optic cables.
The speed is out of this world. You cannot do proper fiber deployment without equipments like this.
Broad-Based Communications are set out to offer a non-compete open access shared services platform to enable other telecom operators and content providers give services to end users. And with the HDD equipment, it is surely an icing on the cake that will avail their customers the very best. Sheung Okimbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
Welcome now to Business News. I'm Loretta Chiogo. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, has assured that the 28th edition of its International Trade Fair will attract more investment into Nigeria. The Trade Promotion Chairman of the Chamber, Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, revealed this at a press briefing with journalists in Lagos today.
The first side is to have the ambassadors get their own supporters to the trade fair so as to expose young Nigerians to the ongoing international trade fair. And those people have come from abroad as investors, as exhibitors. They're also looking for ways that they can stay here in Nigeria and have their own factories. Of course, you know that it's not very easy to pass through our borders now, whether by air or by road, because at least by air, we know there's serious screening being done. But I'm quite sure too that at the other borders, vehicular areas, where people come in with their vehicles, I'm sure there are also controls before you can just come in. So from that area, we are confident that God has put in place a provision that will check people that have Ebola-like symptoms will not be allowed to come in.
The BFI group has begun consultations with stakeholders of the aluminium smelting company Alcon and the host community as part of the takeover process. This follows a judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which ruled in favor of the BFI Group to take over the Aluminium Smelting Company in Ikorabasi, Akwa Ibom State, from the UC Russell Company. The company says its plans is to make the Aluminium Smelting Company a vast business enterprise for the benefit of the host community. Here's a report.
The coast now seems clear for the new owners of the Aluminium Smelting Company, the BFI Group, to take full charge of the company. But its immediate priority is how to bring a positive change to the host community, the people of Ikorabasi in Akwa Ibom State. And with the visionary instinct of the management of the BFI Group, the Aluminium Smelting Company appears set to be transformed into a thriving business enterprise.
Now we have opportunity to work together and take this plant that was built at the cost of nearly 4 billion. But they could not find $150 million working capital to keep it open. And also, I have designed it in such a way that Ruben Jaja will not be the owner of Alcon, nor my American friends who are joining us. In 2 to 3 years, Alcon, under my leadership, will be placed in the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
The paramount ruler of Ikorabasi gave his blessings for the smooth takeoff of the project.
Simply further the production of aluminium, and every other thing will be added to it. Thank you.
The consultation now shifts to the Ikorabasi Local Council, where there are talks with the council executives, the youth, and some lead of staff of the company.
As Sunta sits, BFI is coming in. Roselle is going out. What we need in Ikorabasi is a situation where there will be no seam in the transition period. Let an average man that is working in that company transit into BFI smoothly.
All look set for the smooth takeoff of the new aluminium smelting company under the BFI Group, and the new owners of this multi-billion-naira facility appear ready to meet the expectations of their various stakeholders, particularly their host community.
Access Bank PLC is set to increase its equity capital to 68 billion naira. The board of directors are to raise the amount at 8 naira 90 kobo. This decision was approved by shareholders of the bank at an extraordinary general meeting in Lagos. Our correspondent Temple Ashaju now reports.
This is not an annual general meeting. It is an extraordinary general meeting for the purpose of shareholders' consent over the proposal to raise an authorized equity capital of 68 billion naira. To break down the details, the chairman, Mr. Gbenga Oyebode, reads his address for the shareholders before they make their inquiries.
In order to continuously support growth over the next 5 years, enhancement of the bank's Tier 1 equity capital base is critical to the realization of the bank's objectives. The additional capital will enable us to leverage our enlarged balance sheet and optimize returns in a sustainable and risk-controlled manner.
Make sure that whatever price you are putting is what we can afford.
Earnings of the bank must grow not less than the same ratio that we are giving in 2015.
In a bid to clear the air, the MD CEO, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, emphasized that the rights issues will be processed in best practice.
When this offer is finished, by God's grace, we are definitely posting towards becoming one of the top 3 largest banks in the country, with the same type of parameters in terms of profitability, with the same type of parameters in terms of earnings. All right? And so in terms of what you are going to get out of Access.
There were 8 resolutions that required voting, and about 900 shareholders voted electronically for each.
We voted in favor of all the resolutions because it's a very nice, very apt, very disciplined, and very appropriate capital plan.
with this offer, we hope indeed that it will take us towards the top, if not to the top.
I expect that with more money in their pocket, they'll be able to do more business.
We were looking at increased participation in agric. We are looking at some form of participation in power. The manufacturing sector is also growing. So all of these things require additional capital to support.
The rights issue comes in ratio 143 at 8 naira 90 kobo. By one of the resolutions passed, the bank's authorized share capital is now 14 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
And the United Bank for Africa, UBA, has unveiled a money transfer system that enables its customers send funds to about 200 countries worldwide. At the launch of the product in Lagos, the bank's group managing director, Mr. Phillips Odwaza, demonstrated how the UBA MoneyGram initiative works.
The busy banking hall isn't business as usual. It's the celebration of a banking innovation that makes business transactions faster and easier. It's the United Bank for Africa MoneyGram Niger Sends.
This is a transaction broken down to the simplest form. The next option available to them is to come to the bank, open a bank account, create a domiciliary account, fund the domiciliary account, and then wire money out. But we are saying that we have brought banking just to their footsteps.
With this innovation, the era of long, tedious process of money transfer is gone for good. In just 10 minutes, you can send the naira to any part of the world, as Mr. Phillips Ovoza here demonstrates.
Great. So it's done?
The process just involves, the customer going to any of our banking offices or branches nationwide, and when they get there, they fill a form. We call it a MoneyGram send form, and once the form just basically the details is just who are you sending the money to. You must clearly outline the name of the person, the amount, the country, and other details like the person's phone number and all of that. And then they just pass across the form to the teller. The teller processes the transaction, okay, and in 10 minutes maximum, the customer at the other side, for instance, Ghana, would receive, the customer in Ghana, if the money is being sent to Ghana, would receive the funds in cedis.
The managements of MoneyGram and UBA are much excited about their relationship.
You don't need to send monies through people anymore. Now you can just walk into a bank and ask for transfers via the MoneyGram platform to over 200 countries. Today, MoneyGram operates in over 200 countries, so there is nowhere in the world, so to speak, that you want to send this money to that it won't be, that you don't have that access.
And with this revolution in banking, more UBA customers may find their business engagements a lot more enjoyable.
And over 300 million units of shares were today exchanged for 4.79 billion during trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Let's find out more details of trading figures, and Harriet Agbe is standing by.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The appreciation of blue chips like Dangote Cement did not prevent the key broad index from shedding some more weight. Now this time the all-share index dipped below the 40,000 line to close at 39,681.71 after shedding 0.92%. Dangote Cement added 4 naira 83 kobo to its share price and is followed by UPDC Wright and Ikeja Hotel. Now on the decliners table, Seplat Petroleum Development Company shared 30 naira 37 kobo ahead of food giant Nestle and Forte Oil. Bank stocks dominated the volume chart, with Fidelity Bank pulling the highest units of shares of 57.70 million and is followed by Axis Bank and Guarantee Trust Bank. In all, 386.47 million units of shares were exchanged in 5,100 deals sold for 4.79 billion naira. For those early days trading figures, I'm Harriet Agbe.
Thank you, Harriet. And that's it. It's back to Sulaiman for the rest of the news.
When the News at 10 returns, Nigeria's Super Falcons qualified for the semi-final of the 2014 African Women Championship in Namibia. Stay with us.